Hi, this is Neeraj Jaiswal and welcome to this episode. In this episode, you are going to learn about the buttons. So let's go ahead and add a button. You can go to the hierarchy tab and there you can basically select the panel and then select a button. Add a button here and you'll get a button added to the panel. I'll just bring it the center, and now here the button which has been added is here. So after adding the button, you can see that it has got a child also, the text. So before explaining that, let me tell you what has been added in the button. You go to the inspector, you'll see the red transform of the button is there. Then the image is there where you can add any particular image, the source image. You can change the color if you want. So I'll just keep it as white right now. So if you want, it will pop up a color selection tab. Then you can add a material. You can choose up if some material is there which you can, if you want, you can choose it and it will get added. So there are like for styled and filled image, you can use the sliced or the simple one. So I'll just leave it as default for this one. Now coming down to the button component. In the button component, the button is by default is interactable. You can make it non-interactable or disabled, and there are several transitions which you can have. By default it is color tint. You can have none. You can have color tint. You can have in the color tint, if you see, you can choose the colors of different states of the button. For normal, highlighted, pressed, disabled, all four states you can choose the colors. And then you can basically even have a color multiplier depending on the, like if you want to increase the alpha and all those things, you can do it here. You can control the duration of the animation, the fade duration. Now coming down to the another option is sprite swap. Basically you can have different images or sprites for different states of the button. So you can have highlighted, pressed or disabled. These are the three states for which you can add the sprites. Another one is animation, which I'll say it's not much used when you are creating an application, non-gaming applications, but you can basically animate also the buttons. You can have animations added to the button. It's quite like used in the gaming aspects, but not much in the non-gaming aspects. You can basically just stick to the sprite swap, color tint. That will be more than enough for the non-gaming apps. Now I'll just stick to the color tint, and now coming down here, what's the next thing? Right now if you just run this, you will see that the button does nothing right now. So I just want to add some action to the button, and also I want to change the level. So how to do that? You can see there is a child, the text. The text component is there, which has been added as a child to the button. So there you can just add, or I'll say log high, and then these are the alignments which you can have. You see vertical also is there. So if I just increase the size of this, so I'll just increase the size of the button. You see I can basically specify the vertical alignments, horizontal alignments. So several of the things are there which you can which you get normally with the text components. Wrap and overflow. For vertical overflow, it's truncate or overflow. The best fit is there. Like if you are having a quite a huge hi, how are you there, it's an awesome day. So what happens is, instead of wrapping and everything, you can have it best fit. So whatever, there are a lot of options which are there for you, which you can use. So I'll just stay to, and I'll just align it to the middle and center for this one, and that's it. You can change the, I will have make it bold. I'll just increase the size of the font, so I'll increase it to 20, and I'll choose some other color. I'll choose red. So you can also add a material to the button. For time being, I will not do anything, but there are several options which I have shown you. Now you can run it. If you see the game, if you go to the, so right now the design has changed a bit, the font colors have changed, but still it's not doing anything because we have not added any action. Now to add an action to this particular button, what I need to do is I will need to write a script. So I can just write a script here. I'll create a script in the script folder, and I'll just name it as button event handler script. Normally when you are going to write a script, you might be naming it as per your need. I'm just naming it as a general purpose for now. I'll click on it. It will open the monodevelop. So here is the monodevelop which has been opened, and it has added a script. I'll just create a add a function here, handle button click. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just log a statement, hi there, and I'll save this script. That's it. I don't need to do anything else here. The next thing which I'll need to do is I need to add a empty game object. I'll add an empty game object, and to this game object I am going to add this script which I have made just now as a component. So this one, button event handle script. Next, this is done here. Now I need to connect this game object with the button. So you go to the button, you'll see in the button component here on in the inspector there is something called on click. So what you can do, whenever there is the button is clicked, you can, if you want some action to be done, you can basically add it here. So once I click on the plus, it adds this row. I can what I need to do is I need to drag this game object and add it here. I'll select this button, I'll drag this object and set it here. Now the object has been set. The next thing which I'll do is I'll go to this and I'll set the function which needs to be called whenever there is a button click. So I have already made, I've added a handle button click to that script. Now that is available here to be selected. I'll just select that. Now everything is integrated and it's ready to test. So if I just run this scene, and when I click on this button, you check in the console, it is printing. So right now it is just a simple log but actually you can do lot of stuffs here, whatever you want to do whenever there is a button click. And also you can add some more, you can add a row and add some more actions to be taken when this button is clicked. You can remove it by clicking on the minus button, and then you can also remove whatever existing this action has been added. So this is the way basically a button can be configured in Unity for any non-gaming apps. And in fact, this is the more or less the same way for the gaming SaaS app as well, with some animation if you want. But for non-gaming apps, I think this is more than enough for you. So that's all in this episode. So happy coding and keep rocking.